Hey, it's Myers, and want to talk to you about the end of the year of 2023, and I want to talk about you guys. This year has been undoubtedly the worst fucking year of my life, and the only way I made it through was with the support of my friends and the outreach you guys have done, and it's just fucking amazing. And it runs the gamut from old friends that I've known since elementary school, like Amy McGeorge, who love her, Fancy Pants. They're amazing friends who uh, Amy just astounds me. Old punk rock friends who I grew up with, King's Court and whatnot, and then friends of mine that I know through the punk rock world and as a whole, who um, you know uh, bands I've worked with, and total fucking strangers. Um, so you guys have been really fucking amazing this year, and so this year, uh, as bad as it was with losing our daughter, there's a lot of great shit that we have to be excited for. This year, I, to save myself, save my sanity, I leaned hard into my record label, and we basically doubled the catalog of shit out this year. It's amazing. We got 24 releases so far, and more more on the way. We got some really great fucking shit coming with. There's a split coming that is Poison Boys and Thunder Roads split. We got F, the Florida punk band F. We've got JJ and the Real Jerks. There's just so much coming. There's a side project from Mikey Millionaire from Turbo ACs. We got fuck. I can't even think, like, there's just a lot of shit coming that super excited about. You know Projects that aren't sent off yet that are still in the works, but it sounds like we've hammered out a deal with this band or that band that super excited about where the record label's going. You know we lost both of our dogs that we had certain at the beginning of the year. We lost Pixie just after Ashley died. In fact, we lost Pixie on my birthday, February 20th, which, how shitty is that? But, and my dog, Sage, who I have since January of 2009 is when we adopted her. They said they thought she was like 6 months to a year and a half old at that point. But, the dog was 14 years old, but she was the coolest fucking dog. She was a German Shepherd Beagle, so with a beagle in her, she was very vocal and would have conversations with me where, she'd tell me off, she was a lot of fun, and we lost her in August or September, and but we adopted old boy. Another little Yorkie who we think is about 10 years old. His name's Ollie. The story we got on him was he was living with an older woman who had a stroke and had to go to a nursing home, and she didn't have family that could take him, and he ended up in a shelter. So, but great dog. He's funny little shit. And then Ron and I are just trying to get through, and and Rhonda started talking about stuff that she wants to start doing that you know, sounds more positive. Like, we moved to Minnesota 2.5 years ago, or not quite 2.5 years ago. We moved to Minnesota in September of 21. And, so the first year was just kind of, getting used to the new home and the new town and whatever. But, there's a lot of shit in Minnesota that, like, she's never seen or experienced. And, she's talking about wanting to get out and seeing the rest of the state. And, we go to Mankato quite often, like, to go grocery shopping. Like, where we live in this little fucking town of 1,700, and there is technically a grocery store here, but it's a little bit more than a convenience store, and it's definitely not the type of place you want to do your main grocery shopping at, like, because it's, got convenience store prices. So anyways, we go up to Mankato quite often to, like, we'll go eat lunch and hit Aldi or whatever. And and Rhonda likes to hit thrift stores or whatever. She asked about going to New Ulm. She'd never been to New Ulm. And, like, New Ulm's like 20 miles from Mankato. And, like, we could go to New Ulm. So we ran up to New Ulm and drove around there. And, like, New Ulm, it's a German town. So, it's got a very distinct architecture. I mean, there's a lot of, like, really great brick houses and stuff that are 100 years old or so. That is a cute little town. They got a really cute little main street with a lot of bars and restaurants and whatever. And like, I got telling her, New Ulm's Oktoberfest is pretty famous. Going to the Twin Cities quite often, we'll drive through, like, we drive through St. Peter on our way to the Twin Cities, but St. Peter does, like, art, because the price of rent or whatever, a lot of artists have moved out of the Twin Cities to St. Peter. Like, St. Peter's got this weird art collective going on. I mean, it's a small town, that St. Peter's, like 45 minutes or so from the Twin Cities, but 10 minutes from Mankato. Mankato's like the fourth or fifth biggest city in Mankato's the fifth biggest city in the state of Minnesota. And, so, like, anything you'd want, fast food or stores or whatever, you'd find in Mankato. So, but St. Peter's got this great art collective thing going on there. Like, Rhonda wants to explore that. I mean, we drive through there all the time, but she wants to explore the art collective stuff. And then, I want to get her up to Duluth and the North Shore in the summer. Twin Harbors, and it's really pretty up there. And so Superior, Wisconsin. My pop was telling me about there's some bar in Superior that like, everybody goes to this place to eat cheeseburgers. Like, they specialize in burgers. But apparently all the chairs in there are barber stools. And so, anyways, whatever, but I mean, well, you can see on my t-shirt here, Matt's up in Minneapolis. Matt's is famous for their Juicy Lucy, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the state we want to go do and explore. This is our home now. Like, aside from the Twin Cities, I mean, and Rhonda fucking sucks at geography and directions. She gets lost, driving around the block. But anyways, she's starting to get familiar somewhat with the Twin Cities, and and so we go up there quite a bit, and but and then our neighboring state here, Wisconsin. I mean, we're kind of on the western end of. We're definitely a lot closer to South Dakota than we are to Wisconsin, but La Crosse has got fun stuff going on in La Crosse all the time. Milwaukee, especially down at the waterfront, is a lot of fun. So there's just fun stuff to do. And Rhonda's talking about, excuse me, Rhonda's talking about wanting to get out and explore this stuff more, which, like, I had wanted to do that stuff this year. However, with Ashley dying, like, Rhonda just wasn't, in the mood to go do a whole lot of stuff, I don't know. I don't remember what we did this year. Depression's just kind of a weird fucking thing. And it's not depression. We were grieving, It's not like, I talked to my doctor about it, I'm like, by all accounts, I'm clinically depressed. And she's like, you're grieving the loss of a child. It's different than, she is like, this is something you're going to get through, where, like, clinical depression is something that, you're kind of stuck and you need, some help getting through it, from, your doctors and, counselors and whatever. So anyways, I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for supporting the label. I want to thank you guys for all the support you've given me personally. To Rhonda, when Ashley died, I asked y'all to do an act of kindness for Ashley, and and you have, I've heard about it. I've heard about, the libraries that in the schools that you guys are setting up, and paying the adoption fee on some stray dog at some shelter, or so when that Dogs Forever family comes to adopt it, it's ready to go. Just, you guys have been so fucking great, and so, and supportive, and and still today, there's stuff going on with Ashley's girlfriend out in Virginia, being tried by the state of Virginia. And Rhonda and I are against it. Rhonda and I are opposed to trying her, or whatever, because the way it was described to us by this homicide detective, it was an accident, and so you throw her in prison. Does that make the lesson more learned? How long does she need to be put in prison for before she's drove into her head that when the person that you choose to be with, your person in life, the person you've been engaged to, you gotta be careful with guns around them, or less has been learned. That she's told us she never. She's not a mad dog killer. This is never going to happen with this girl again. What she needs is some therapy and some support to straighten her life out. And so how much time in prison do you want to give her that will bring our daughter back? I argued with my brother about this. My brother's like, well, she killed somebody. She's going to have to do some time. And it's like, how much time is necessary? We are opposed to prosecuting her. The state of Virginia is re-traumatizing us, or is continually traumatizing us by their constant antics in this stuff. And, so like Richard Duguay, who played in the Canadian hardcore band Personality Crisis, and I did a 45 with him on my label. Killer 45, you guys should grab it. He's got Pat Todd blowing harmonica on the B side of it. And, but anyways, Richard Duguay's offered to do a benefit show for our daughter's girlfriend out in LA to raise money for her defense. And, which is much appreciated. I don't know. I mean, her defense is, not in my wheelhouse. I would have to talk to, like her mom and whatever about that stuff. But I appreciate the gestures and offers, and so yeah, it just and this out there, this prosecutor is not listening to the wishes of the victims' parents, and they it's not. I'm not an attorney, so I don't have a whole lot of understanding of the legal parts of it, but it's been a frustrating situation. So I'm a punk, and I fight my battles asymmetrically and use guerrilla tactics, and I'm reaching out to people, and so I wrote a letter to the court that was read in the court, and it didn't change anything, and I was really disappointed by it. And I messaged a friend of mine, Caitlin, who, like a lot of you guys who have worked with me with the record label, have also messaged with Caitlin, because I use Caitlin as a second set of ears to listen to stuff and give me opinions on, whether it belongs on the label or not. And, so Caitlin, she's a trusted friend. I've known her since I was a senior in high school. And, so I, like I said, with the label, I use her as a second set of ears, and, trust her opinion on stuff I'm doing with the label. And, cause she's got excellent taste in music. And, but I messaged her, and I'm lamenting the fact I wrote this letter and it was read in court, and, it didn't change anything. She's like, well, you wrote one letter, tomorrow you'll write more. And it's like, aha, that's how we do these things. So I started contacting our senators here in Minnesota, thinking, what would it do to, DA in Virginia Beach, Virginia, getting phone calls from a Minnesota U.S. senator, and and then I thought maybe I'd try to rally some community support as far as like reaching out to LGBTQ outreach centers, or reaching out to gay bars, and so here I am. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's the other part, is I don't know what I'm doing here. So I'm Googling gay bars in Virginia, and so the first Google hit is TripAdvisor top 10 gay bars in Virginia. So I'm looking at that, and the first one I see is in Virginia Beach, which is the town that Ashley and Ella were in, and so and where all this stuff happened was Virginia Beach, and the name of it is Cactus Rainbow, or Rainbow Cactus, and Rainbow Cactus, and so, which, if I'm looking for a sign of, am I on the right track or not? Like, my daughter Ashley had this fucking stupid cactus that she talked about this fucking cactus like most people talk about their cats or dogs or whatever. I mean, she loved this fucking thing. And, she named it Lars. And, I'd always hear about her cactus Lars and, whatever. So if I'm looking for a sign of, am I on the right track? Here, Lars, the fucking cactus, is pointing the way. Contact Rainbow Cactus. So, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying, and so, you know, I'm thinking to myself that I've spent too many fucking decades listening to The Clash, to and Dead Kennedys, to just not fucking try. After Trump got elected, I saw this fucking meme floating around that apparently Henry Rollins said, and I don't know if Rollins said this or not, but this was what the meme said was, Henry Rollins said, "This is not the time for despair. This is the time for punk rock. This is the moment that Joe Strummer trained us for." And again, I don't know if Henry Rollins said that or not. This is just what the fucking meme says. But, I'm looking at this situation with the court system and our daughter's girlfriend and want to prosecute an accident. And, so I, and I know fucked up shit about our judicial system as far as like for-profit prisons. They need a pipeline of slaves for these for-profit prisons. They need this pipeline to be profitable, and these fucking states have signed these agreements with these for-profit prisons that you have to keep it at X capacity, so when an inmate is getting close for release, they get some sort of violation to extend their fucking time or whatever. And, because it's incentivized to keep more people locked up for longer. And, and I don't know if that's the case here. I don't know if it's a anti-trans thing. I know the trans community has been a political punching bag, a political football for several years now. And I mean, the only reason when they had the fucking guns in the first place was because of how the trans community is treated by the public in politics and the media and whatever. They got the guns to protect themselves because of how the trans community is treated. So, if this is some sort of anti-trans thing or whatever, or if this DA's got political ambitions, that maybe she wants to run for governor and or Congress or something in 5 or 10 years or whatever, and when she goes to do that, she wants to be able to say, "I was tough on crime." I don't know. All I know is I see a lot of injustice in this, and I've been a fucking punk rocker a long fucking time. I know how the game is played, and I know how like I said, I don't know what I'm doing here with trying to help our daughter's girlfriend, but I was messaging with my friend Amy McGeorge about that, and she says, "Ryan, I've known you for decades, and most of the time you don't know what you're doing, but you figure it out," or something like that. I don't know, or no, what she said was, I said, I don't know what I'm doing. She says, "That's never stopped you before." And, and I get myself into things where, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just, I don't know what it is, but, like, there's something in me where I just decide to do something and I do it. So, when I was in high school, I got a copy of the school newspaper, and I'm like, man, this is a joke. Like, it doesn't represent anything I'm into. So, like, I just started, like, writing stuff and pasting pictures over the top. It started a fucking fanzine over the top of the school newspaper. And, I had a lot of you guys know me from the Kings Court years, like, and Cattle Club. Remember my fanzine, the Teenage News, that I named after my favorite song off the New York Dolls Red Patent Leather record. And so, which Sylvain told me the story on that was he had heard a song from Gary U.S. Bombs where he's talking about this place has this and that, and they get the Teenage News, and he's like, oh, the Teenage News, great, and that's kind of the genesis of that song. But, so, I had my fanzine, and then, I worked for this guy who kind of walked me through how to start a business. He told me how he started his guitar shop, and, so he told me you go to this office in downtown Des Moines and apply for your sales tax resale license, and and that's essentially your business permit in the state of Iowa. And so I dropped out of college to open a record store because, and I didn't know what I was doing. Like I had no clue what the fuck I was doing. And but it didn't stop me. And then I got sober and I met Rhonda, but I was messing around with these circuits and ordering parts and whatever, and soldering stuff up, and Rhonda seeing the stuff I'm ordering and asking, what is this and how much are we spending on it? And I said, don't worry about it. It's a business. I'm going to sell to other people. So, I didn't know what I was doing when I, started Sioux Guitars. In fact, I backdoored myself into starting the company as an excuse for, me buying these parts and shit to build my own fucking guitar circuits, working on little fuzzes and different designs of, I really like fuzzes, but the thing about it, like, a lot of them, I hear the nuances, but I mean, at the end of the day, on a recording, I mean, just a basic fuzz gets the job done for most people. But I like messing around with that shit, and so I didn't know what I was doing with Sioux Guitars when I started, and and I still don't. I mean, everybody and their dog has a fucking pedal company these days, so. How do you break through the noise? How do you, I don't have a fuck ton of money for advertisement, like Google AdWords, I don't think is effective. They say it's going to be seen by X amount of eyeballs, which, okay, does that translate into sales? And, I don't know. Don't know what I'm doing with the record label. I just during, I kicked around the idea of starting a label for a while, and then, COVID hit, and I'm ordering a lot of stuff off of Discogs and Bandcamp and whatever, and, so, I threw it out, and Richard Bacchus of Degeneration's like, yeah, I got a record in the can. I've been sitting out for 8 years. You can put it out if you want. And I'm like, which, I'm so grateful that, he took a chance on me. I got so many fucking amazing friends. I mean, the first person I called the day that Ashley died was my friend AJ, who, AJ is a true mensch. AJ lost his son, so he knows what it's like losing a kid, and so yeah, it just I've had so many amazing friends this year, and so many amazing experiences, and I'm so grateful for you guys, and I just want to say thank you. And you know, I try to do this meditation where I focus on gratitude, and like I think of Malala, the little girl who was shot in the face by the Taliban for wanting to go to school, and I think about how that never happened to me. That's not my story, And I think of last time I was in Detroit, they had just I was at the Henry Ford Museum, and they had just finished a $300,000 restoration of Rosa Parks' bus that you could go sit on, and I went and sat on Rosa Parks' bus, and I choked up because like it occurred to me that like I don't know what it was like for a woman, a black woman, at that time in the fucking South to do what she did. I got no clue. I mean, I try to use some empathy. I try to put myself in her shoes, you know. But I imagine I'm missing a lot of the subtleties there, and so but I think of her experience versus mine. I was born a white guy in the upper Midwest in the late '70s, and in America. I mean, just by that, I fucking won the lottery in the lottery cards. And I think of all these things. Um, I think about these fucking immigrants coming to the border. Where a lot of people are like the Fox Newses of the world and the right wing pundits. This is a crazy, and and I think about these immigrants coming to the border, and how grateful I am that I'm here, and what it would take to leave everything to just start fucking walking north in hopes that and I'm sure they know when they leave that like just because you get to the border doesn't mean you're getting in or whatever, but they're taking that fucking chance anyways because where they live. I mean, either you risk it all to try to get to America, or you die where you're at. And it just, I think of this stuff, and I think of how grateful I am to be who I am, where I am, when I am. And when I do this gratitude meditation, I feel it throughout the day that like if I get cut off in traffic, I just let it go. Figure that person needs to get there before I do. But if I don't do this gratitude meditation and I get cut off in traffic, then I want to get road ragey, chase them down, tell them they fucking drive like a fucking Minnesotan, and but anyways, because the worst fucking drivers in the world are in Worthington, Minnesota. Holy fuck. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like traffic flow just come to a total stop because somebody's got their left blinker on, and so the opposite lane fucking stops because to let the guy with the left blinker go through. You got traffic backed up 4 fucking blocks because we're Minnesota nice and we're going to let the motherfucker turn it left here, go take the right of way, which fuck. But these motherfuckers don't even use salt and pepper on their food. I mean, yeah, it's weird up here. But anyways, if you stuck around this long, sorry for rambling, and I just want to say thank you to all of you, and going into 2024, I'm super excited. You know, like I said, more good shit coming on the record label in a couple weeks. Rhonda and I are flying out San Diego to see a Dragons reunion at the Casbah. You know, it's the Dragons fucking joint. You know, I guess it's like the 30th anniversary for the Casbah in San Diego, and you know, the Dragons wanted to do a reunion for it, so you know, flying out for that, super stoked. You know, I love those guys. Ken's got one of my amps. You know, Mario's got the best fucking voice in punk rock. I mean, just like those Dragons records, he sounds so fucking haggard. It's so, I mean, it's fucking great. Last time I saw the Dragons, Ken just fucking melted my face. And then he got off stage. He's like, "How was it?" I'm like, "Oh, fucking amazing." And he's like, "Man, I couldn't play half the stuff I wanted to." And it's like, what else did you want? Like, you melted my face. He fucking amazing. And you know, Hector's amazing. He's taken over the bass duties since Steve Rodriguez passed away. You know, I got to meet Steve's kid, Jesse, last year. He's a good kid. You know, and excited about this kid. He's a good little musician, but he's been building some guitars, and you know, and the stuff he's building really fucking unique, and you know, really excited by this kid. You know, I look to the future as I look to these kids. I mean, my fucking grandkids are amazing, and you know, I feel really confident with the future. You know, and I see these kids really taking the world by storm, and I'm excited by that. And but again, thanks for watching. Thanks for all your guys' support this year. If you want some fucking killer records, we got them on Sue. If you want some killer guitar pedals, Sue Guitars has them. But that's my plug. And anyways, thanks for the support you guys have given me and Rhonda, and our other kids, Jessica and Lindsay, and also super excited. Jessica's pregnant, and I think they're talking about inducing her January 25th. No, January 28th. She's supposed to have this baby, you know, early February, late January, and you know, so if we get a healthy baby, you know, that will offset a lot of the first year anniversary dooms stuff with Ashley passing. You know, here's another thing. Talking about signs, you know, I was talking about the sign of coming across this fucking rainbow cactus thing bar in Virginia Beach. You know, I took it as a sign because of our daughter's cactus, Lars. But Rhonda is convinced that our daughter Ashley is sending her a sign when she sees eagles. And so last weekend we drove up to the cities, and no shit, we saw like 10 fucking eagles on our way up to the Twin Cities. We saw one, where was it? Just south, like, I think, like, there's a rest area on Highway 60, just south of Medelia, and I think it was between that rest area and Medelia we saw the first one, and then, or maybe it was two there, and then we saw another one flying low across Lake Crystal, and, you know, like right above the water. This eagle was maybe I don't know, 4 feet above the water, just soaring right across the lake. And, and then we got up going through like Mankato. And if you guys don't know, that there's just a really beautiful valley of it's the valley of the Minnesota River, going from Mankato up through St. Peter and to Le Sueur, and so like you'll see the river on one side of the road, and a lot of trees, and then there's bluffs on the other side of the road, and so saw a lot of like 10 eagles, and and Rhonda's like, neither one of us have ever seen that many eagles in a day, and Rhonda's convinced that they're signs from Ashley. I don't know. I don't know. So, anyways, like I said, thanks for your guys' support. Thanks for watching these fucking videos. I'm looking forward to more collaborations with more fucking cool people. Cole Molina, calling you out. I've been wanting to work with you for a long time. I think you're a fucking amazing musician. So, anyways, Happy New Year. Love you.